Hello, you're watching James. My name's James. You're watching me, and I'm talking about watches. Well, today I'm going to be doing a sort of a first impressions slash full review of an AVI-8 watch. Now, the reason I'm doing it this way is that I actually picked this one up secondhand. It's not one of their current range watches, and when I do get a watch that is not a current range, I don't always tend to want to make multiple videos about it because you guys may not be able to find it out there online. But I think it's definitely worth making some content about it because it has actually really impressed me. I have noticed recently online, on YouTube, a lot of people have been talking about AVI-8 watches. I think they're doing it as a company, having a bit of a push to try and get people to be aware of their watch company. And I have to say, I've been watching these videos and I've been thinking, they're quite interesting. Oh, they're reasonably priced, but they haven't really sort of perked me up or made me want to buy one. But then recently, this one I'm going to show you today dropped in on the sort of used market locally where I am, and it was super well priced. And I thought, well, for that price, I need to buy it and experience it. And I'm so glad that I did because it actually has impressed me a lot. I really like the aesthetics of this watch. I like some interesting features of this watch, and I like the price of this watch. Even when it was brand new, this one was about 300 Australian dollars. Now, I bought it significantly cheaper, didn't come with the box. I don't think it has the original strap, but it's absolutely worth showing to you today, just to show you some features about it that may sort of make you want to sort of bring a little bit more attention towards this particular brand. And if you don't like this particular one from AVI-8, I've checked out their website. There is a huge range of interesting watches there that may well be interesting to you. They are definitely sort of military inspired, plane inspired, being AVI-8. They're talking about aviation. So they sort of have their own sort of niche that they are looking at now. And guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please click on that subscribe button. But that's enough of that. Let's flip the camera and let's check out this watch. Now, I picked this one up at a super good price on the used market. Didn't come with the original packaging. I'm not completely sure if this is the original strap. So today I'm going to concentrate actually on the head of the watch. And I think there's a good reason to concentrate on it because there's a lot of real interesting stuff going on here. But let's talk about the dimensions of this one because it's a slightly bigger watch, but I think it sort of suits this sort of military inspired sort of dimensions. It has a 44mm case. It has a 10.8mm thickness. Has a lug to lug of 51mm. It has a lug width of 22mm. And on this strap that it has come with when I bought it, it might be the original, I'm not 100% sure, but either way, 68 grams, so it's fairly light. Now, the first thing you are going to notice, well, at least the first thing I notice, it is a quartz watch. Yep, absolutely, quartz watch. And to be honest, for this style of watch, I think that's actually quite good. I think this is one of those ones which you can just pick up and go with. And this sort of military style one, I guess you want the time to be more exact because you're trying to time things. But what I like about it and what has stood out to me, well, lots of things actually, but two things straight away. Firstly, the crystal. Yeah, it's like a domed crystal. It's not sapphire, it is just a mineral crystal, but I have to say it looks and feels really nice. I really did think it was sapphire because it had a really nice look and feel to it. And next is that day of the week complication. I've never seen something like this before, and it is really cool. Monday through to Sunday, all white except for the day of the week that is actually lit up. Well, it's not lit up, it's just got a little bit of red in there showing that it is Wednesday on the day that I'm filming this. Date window obviously there at the 3 o'clock. A little bit of red on the tip of the second hand as well, which sort of ties it into that day of the week window. But check out the dial. There's a lot going on here. There's cutouts around the edge, parts of it are sunken down, parts of it are lifted up. The indices there are lifted up slightly. Yeah, very cool. So this one, it's a green color. It's a PVD black coated case, which is rather interesting. I haven't had a black case watch before. There is a logo on the crown there. It's not screwed down, it's just twisting. So the water resistance on this one is probably going to be fairly limited. Something that also did surprise me a lot about this watch is that there is absolutely no loom, which I thought was very odd, or a very odd choice of AVI-8 to not put loom on a military style or a military inspired watch, but that's what they went with, so that's what we have here today. Most things are printed on there. Those indices though do have some depth to them. Do like those handset, I think they look quite cool. Certainly does look like there's loom in the hands, however, which is why I was so surprised when there was no loom when I tried out the loom. I like how they have put black hands there, however, sort of matches in nicely with the case. Very cool. On the back we got a stainless steel case back. It's a fairly simple case back, but on there we actually have the Harrier jet printed on there. It says Hawker Harrier 2, has the jet, AVI-8, water resistance to 50 meters, stainless steel. It says that it's a quartz movement as well. So there we have it. There we have an AVI-8 watch. I think it's quite a good, interesting looking watch. Love that day of the week indicator. I think that's super, super cool. But if I was to pick some things that perhaps I didn't like as much, or perhaps that I would change, you know, I think having this with a bit of loom would definitely be sort of advantageous. I think it would suit the watch better as well. Nice to have a slightly nicer case back. That is a fairly simple case back, but this is an affordable watch. Even brand new, this was a relatively affordable watch. So there are some things in there that are going to keep that as an affordable watch. So I understand that. So water resistance would have been a little bit better if it was a little bit more, but overall, I think a very interesting watch, a very affordable watch, and a great looking dial. I think it looks fantastic. But how does it look on wrist? Well, on this strap that it came with, I think it looks okay. It's probably pushing the boundaries of size for me because it does sit rather flat. Being black, however, though, it sort of feels like it settles into my wrist a little bit more. As you can see, you can't really see much of that strap on either side. It does fall away a fair bit, but it certainly has a bit of wrist presence, doesn't it? And it's certainly easy to read the time. That contrast between those hands and the dial certainly do make it stand out, so it's nice and easy to read. Obviously in daylight or in artificial light, because you're not going to be reading this one in the dark, unfortunately, because of that lack of loom. But overall, I think as an affordable watch, as an affordable quartz watch, it's a reasonable offering. All right, guys, it was just a quick one today. This one is not one of their current lineup. Plenty of watches on the AVI-8 website. However, if you are interested in a sort of more affordable, interesting military style watch that has some interesting features, this does seem to be a company that does have those interesting features, does have some interesting offerings, and a lot of them are at a fairly affordable price. As always though, I do appreciate you watching. I do hope to see you in the next video.